Good afternoon, Lisa.
Good afternoon, Andrew.
Meanwhile, back on the sofa. Ding, 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 ding.
We've just watched Feast of Stephen.
That was my silent piano music.
Was it?
It wasn't silent enough, was
No,
it?
it wasn't.
Yes, Doctor Who, The Feast of Stephen for Christmas. Yeah. Missing, presumed never ever to be found.
Not necessarily a bad thing.
What do you think?
It's a bit of fun. It adds nothing to the Daleks Master Plan, obviously, because it's a standalone episode. I don't think it's as funny as it thinks it's trying to be.
No, it's strange, but it's not laugh out loud funny, is it?
No. And to be honest, if it was me, I would have kept it all at the police station.
Yeah.
I would have made it all about trying to get the Doctor out of the police station for the whole episode.
But I mean, it's the thing. Do we know whether lots of people who watch Doctor Who who didn't watch Doctor Who watched that episode?
Possibly, and they would have been able to watch that without having watched the rest of it.
I think the viewing figures are actually lower for that episode than they are for the rest of the story.
Is that just a case of it's Christmas Day and not many people are watching television?
Because it has to be said, Christmas Day telly this year didn't do very well at all, did it?
There was all this talk earlier in the year about Doctor Who's ratings and how Doctor Who's ratings went down steadily, well, as they tend to do during the series. But this year's Christmas Day television did quite poorly.
Yeah.
I think the best thing on there was Michael McIntyre, you said, wasn't it?
Yes.
Michael McIntyre.
I mean the Queens are cheap because it's added together.
Yeah. Because the Queen normally gets about 14 million, doesn't she? So.
Well, it's all her extended family watching, isn't it? But yeah, if I just sort of see if I can find the viewing figures for the Dalek Master Plan. Mm-hmm. And I think you'll find that, here we go. So, Feast of Stephen gets 7.9, whereas the episode,
pretty good.
Whereas the episodes either side of it get 9.1 and 9.6.
Okay.
So, it's noticeably the least watched episode of
the serial.
Of that serial, yeah. So, the audience makeup is a little weird, but I do wonder whether people that normally watch Doctor Who didn't watch it, and how many people that didn't normally watch Doctor Who watched it.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the stuff at the police station, because it is the more interesting stuff.
It is. The latter half of the episode there's a lot of
piddling about,
prattling about. Yes.
But it's there's the story that it's meant to be a sort of Z-Cars almost crossover, isn't it? Because there was talk about getting the Z-Cars sort of actors involved, which of course never happened.
No.
But when you watch it, if you know your Z-Cars,
you can sort of go, that part was that part.
You subconsciously start putting the characters in.
Yeah.
But after doing a little bit of digging, it turns out to be not quite as easy as we thought.
No, because ideally, obviously there's the sergeant.
There's the station sergeant
who's dealing with the man whose greenhouse keeps being stolen by the rebels.
The rebels.
Does that mean sweets? What does that even mean?
A big evil bag of chocolates keeps stealing his greenhouse. It's the rebels.
So, and I can sort of imagine that being Sergeant Blackett from Z-Cars.
Well, that's the point. Yeah. This is where it gets interesting. Yeah. Because if you actually look at the dates, Sergeant Blackett, as played by Robert Keegan,
who goes on to will be in the Reboot operation in about 10 years' time or so. His
final episode of Z-Cars is Celebration. Mm-hmm. On the 7th of December 1965. And and he retires early, basically.
Yes.
According to our sources. His son gets in a bit of bother in Celebration, and this is to set up his appearance in Softly as the family leave the area, and he's pre-filming for Softly at the time. So he can't be in Z-Cars and in Softly at the same time. No.
So they've got a new sergeant in, haven't they?
Yeah, and the same thing happens to Barlow in the penultimate Z-Cars episode. Yeah, so Celebrations on the 7th of December 1965. Then you get Jeffrey Reed taking over for the last couple of episodes as Sergeant, and get this, Eccleston.
Okay.
Now that's weird, isn't it?
A little bit, yes.
So he becomes Station Sergeant for the next 2 episodes, which are But the Crying on the 14th of December, and That's the Way It Is on the 21st of December.
Yeah.
So if this was to tie in with Z-Car's continuity, it can't be Blackett.
No, it can't be Blackett. And Blackett's a great character.
Which is a shame, because he would have been good.
Because obviously, firstly, you've got Sergeant Twentyman, who the actor playing him very sadly dies over a year earlier, isn't it? So 1964. And it's a bit sad, really, because he's a great sergeant, and I can see him taking no nonsense whatsoever from the Greenhouse Man.
But yeah, it's that thing though that it was written a bit before, so it was probably written to be Blackett.
Yeah.
Although it's possible that Colin Welland might have filled that role as well.
I'm not sure Colin Welland would have been old enough to be a sergeant at that point.
Yeah, I mean that's the weird thing. The actual nailing down the casting's a little difficult at the moment, and that information will be available at some point. But yeah, we refer you to David Brunt's
excellent Z-Cars books.
Z-Cars books. When the next ones come out, I'm not sure, but it'll be a little while.
Yes.
But you've got the sort of detective inspector.
Yes.
And I immediately assumed it was going to be Stratford Johns.
Yeah, Barlow.
As Barlow.
Yeah.
But you said, well, maybe it could have been Frank Windsor.
It probably could have perceivably been Frank Windsor with James Ellis, because he was a detective constable at this point, with James Ellis as his sort of sidekick.
Yeah.
I can see James Ellis in that scene trying not to laugh and being his usual charming self.
But you've still got Brian Blessed in Z-Cars at this point. You've got Joseph Brady. You've got Donald G. As well as PC Walker.
Unfortunately, we've never seen any of these because I don't know if they exist, do they?
But I'd need to look through the.
If they don't exist, or they've just never been released, because no
available.
black and white Z-Cars have been officially released.
Yeah.
Which is an oversight.
Yeah, because Colin Welland is PC Graham.
Yes, David Graham.
PC David Graham.
Doesn't do Dalek voices.
Not the one that does Dalek voices, which gets even more confusing.
Good.
Speaking of voices, what do you think of Peter Purvis's accent?
It's not bad, actually. It's not bad at all, because isn't he in Z-Cars at some point?
Peter Purvis? Yes. Yeah, I think he was, yeah.
Is he a policeman in it?
Oh, I don't know.
I wonder if that's where they get the shots of him in the policeman's uniform. Because we watched a reconstruction of it.
Again, let me have a look, and I'll...
But yeah, because I think he is in Z-Cars. I think everybody was in Z-Cars at some point, weren't they?
Well, pretty much so.
Everybody that was around at that point is in Z-Cars. So.
Yes, let's have a look.
So, I mean, John Challis was in Z-Cars, but he was in Z-Cars a little bit later, wasn't he? So.
Well, yeah, John's in late 60s, early 70s, and again...
Because, of course, in the 70s, in the colour ones that have been released on DVD, James Ellis is a sergeant, and he's sort of a station sergeant at one point, isn't he?
Well, Peter's in Dixon and Dock Green.
Oh, right, perhaps that's why I'm getting confused.
I can't see... Yeah, he's in Z-Cars in 1964 as a bus conductor.
Oh, right, okay.
And in 1967 as Cord. Whatever that is. So no, I think.
Don't think they just pasted his head on.
No, they've just stuck his head on a
policeman.
on a policeman's uniform, basically.
Yeah.
No, I can't see that he's a PC in any of that.
But yeah, I mean, but it does really feel quite Z-Carsy, doesn't it? The episode.
Yeah, I mean it's all right, and as you say, it's the better half of that episode. So it would be interesting, to see it or to see some footage of it.
Yeah.
I know sort of people say it would be very nice to have it recovered because it's meant to be one of the least likely ever to be found. And yes, from a curiosity point of view, yes, it would be very interesting. From an entertainment point of view, I think less so.
Yeah. Perhaps it would throw more light on what in heaven's name is going on in the next section of the episode?
Well, yes, because all you get, they all sort of bundle into the TARDIS. You get a tiny little linking scene which gives a nod to, the ongoing plot.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get all the Sawmill film studio set up, don't you? With, apparently Charlie Chaplin, according to the recon.
Yeah.
How true that is.
You like Charlie Chaplin, don't you?
What? you taken leave of your senses?
I might have being sarcastic, you know that.
I love Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah.
Charlie Chaplin I can very much take or leave.
What about Buster Keaton?
No
Very
opinion.
clever.
No opinion, really.
And Harold Lloyd. Harold Lloyd's
all right, yeah.
Because I always think of that scene in Harold Lloyd with the house.
Yeah.
Where it just falls and you can see there's not much space between the edge of it and where he's standing.
Is that Harold Lloyd or is that Buster Keaton?
It might be Buster Keaton.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm not really sure. I'm not an expert on silent movies.
But yeah, Laurel and Hardy, absolutely brilliant. But to me, they're the sort of the exception to a lot of this period. But nevertheless, all the silent caption. All the caption card stuff and the tinkly piano music. I believe so.
Okay.
Yes. Because the few off-screen photos that Robert Jewell's got are mostly of him.
Well, they would be, wouldn't they? So.
And most of the time he's moving at the wrong point. He's just got a really blurred face, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So, there's a tiny amount of information available from those shots, but not much. But what would you score that one out of 10?
Out of 10, I'd say that's probably a 5.
A 5?
Yeah.
If you were peed up on Christmas Day, would it be more amusing, do you think?
Possibly.
Because I think the whole point of this is the curiosity of seeing a Hartnell's Doctor in these situations, isn't it?
Yeah.
That he's perfectly all right sort of facing off against the Daleks.
Yeah.
But you get him, a sergeant in the police station or some film director.
He's done quite well.
Yeah, I suppose so. But it's just that incongruity, isn't it? Of he's in a situation you don't normally see him in. Yeah. And I guess that's the thing of that's meant to be funny in some way.
Yeah.
But yeah, not entirely sure it works.
No.
But an interesting experiment, and later stories in this season get the comedy a lot better, don't they?
Yes.
Well, to be honest, later and earlier stories in this season, because Mythmakers works, and I absolutely love the gunfighters. I hear a word said about that. Feast of Stephen is an experiment that doesn't quite work, but that's not to say you shouldn't do experiments.
No, they have to be admired for giving it a go.
Yeah. So a cheery, it's okay, but not great.
No.
And I think that's all we can say. So yes, we'll go off and look up some more Z cars now. I think.
Yes.
I want to go through the lists now. I've got all the things up. Okay, we'll say bye bye then.
All right then.
Bye bye.
Bye.